Well, it's been several days since my last post, and I was like, let me go ahead and put something up right quick. So I just wanted to share something with you guys that was on my mind, and it was something that helped add a lot of clarity for me when I got laid off. Actually, before I got laid off, but it helped out quite a bit after I got laid off. And in fact, I was actually having these thoughts when I was living paycheck to paycheck, and I was lost trying to figure things out. And I didn't know anybody successful that I could ask what to do next. I'd see people, driving nice cars. There's nice cars in the parking lot at the fitness club that I was a member of, but I didn't really, I'll just say I wasn't really comfortable asking those people who looked rich or looked like they were successful what to do. And then on top of that, I mean, we live in America, so it's like you can finance anything. So it's like, are these people that I think are doing well off, are they really as well to do as I think they are? Or is it more of a front and they're just financing this lifestyle to be able to afford the nice car that I think makes them look successful? Anyway, so that wasn't the path that I took. In fact, I want to go outside for a little bit because it's just finished raining and it looks like it might have not ruined the pool this time, because usually when it rains, there's all sorts of craziness in the pool, leaves and whatnot. The wind was blowing rather hard and lightning. We lost our internet connection for a little while. It didn't do too bad, I guess. I was a little bit concerned because I had just put some chemicals in the pool and I didn't want all my efforts to go to waste. But anyway, back to the subject at hand. If you're lost, hopefully this video finds you and you'll benefit to some extent. Putting a budget together is super duper important. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, if you're running a business, there is nobody on this planet that couldn't benefit from having a budget. But the greatest benefit of that budget that no one ever told me was that it will allow you to get a handle on like your expenses and you can understand what's coming at you. And a good budget will keep you from encountering these unexpected situations. Oh, I didn't know this, 70,000 mile service was going to come up on my car, caught me off guard. It didn't catch you off guard. You just, you didn't plan for it. And anyway, that was very helpful. I'm not going to go into the details of that, but what I will say is one of the greatest benefits of the budget for me was I got to figure out how much my expenses were per month. And for the first time, I was able to compare how much income I had coming in to the expenses. And once I understood that, I was able to say, okay, here's where I need to cut back. Here's where I need to increase my income. Here's how I can increase my income, or, I could work overtime and stuff like that. But that was before I got smart. But at some point I started doing the math and I said, okay, if my bills are hypothetically $3,000 a month, well, how much is that per day? And that very question changed my mindset once I figured out what my daily expenses were. And I was thinking, okay, mortgage is like $800. I mean, I had a really inexpensive house. We didn't have car payments, thankfully. By the time I figured out this equation, we had made some progress in paying off some debt. But anyway, it was like, hey, when I totaled up mortgage, insurance, car insurance, we didn't have car payments, but we did have a couple credit cards left over with some small balances, cell phone bills, utilities, food. It was like, look, if we don't go out, if we just pay our bills, pay for groceries, utilities, it was like we could survive on $3,000 a month because that's how much our bills were. So I was like, this is actually not too bad. So then I realized, okay, we're spending way more than $3,000 a month, but it was only because of all of these unnecessary extra expenses like going to the movies, hanging out at the mall, extra subscription services, gym memberships, but I kind of actually consider gym as a requirement. If you have seen my previous videos, you understand why I consider the gym as a requirement, but I'll just give you the long and short of it. The fitness membership is required because it's part of the mindset that makes you wealthy. Look at 90% of wealthy, and when I say wealthy people, I'm talking about wealthy people, rich folks that have built their wealth, established their financial position in life by themselves. Meaning, this was not from an inheritance. This was not like a lottery winner. This is not, some kind of unexpected financial windfall. I'm talking about entrepreneurs that have built their own wealth. There's a very clear correlation between fitness, working out, and establishing the mindset required for, achieving a lifestyle that most people don't get to live. Period and point blank, right? So when I realized that, okay, $3,000 a month is $100 a day, that became a lot more palatable when I was thinking about how can I break free of a 9-to-5 that I was literally dreading going to every single day, sitting in traffic. But that was the thing. It wasn't even just the traffic. It was thinking about how much of a time suck it was going to be the next day. Like if I was off, or maybe I was already at home after having worked a long day, I'm thinking about, okay, how much more time do I have left of the day to myself? What am I going to do with the rest of this day? What time do I need to go to bed so I can get up, prep my meals, because I would do meal prep to, go to work the next day.
Good morning. On my way to the gym, just wanted to share a couple of words of wisdom with you guys, and also just show you a little bit of my morning routine. But real quick, let me just show you my meal prep, or at least the meals that I'm bringing with me to work for the day. So here's my meals for the day.
Just want to give a quick update. I'm driving right now, obviously. I want to give a quick update to my research and decisions on starting a business. Thinking about how much time I'm going to spend in traffic. I mean, like, all of this was taking a toll on me. And then when you actually do it, I hated waking up early in the morning, trying to beat traffic, which you can't do, because traffic is just like always there. You spend probably a good 40% of your energy just commuting to work. That sucked. Then you get to work and it's like, okay, 9 more hours of this, because 8 hours plus your lunch, that's 9 hours, and that's if you didn't work anything extra. If you worked a job like me, I was in IT field for 15-20 years. That's a role that companies never really valued. They always looked at us as an expense. So in the IT field, you can make a lot of money. You can make it, when I say a lot of money, it's like relative. You can make a very above average income. I'll say that. I made up, my last job, I was making $200,000 a year before I got laid off. And I was in that income bracket for like 9 years, 10 years, 9 years. But the point is, and I did all that without a college degree, mind you. But the point is even earning all that money, which, a lot of people who aren't earning $200,000 a year would be like, oh my God, that's a lot of money. If you're only making $50,000, it sounds like a lot. And it is a lot in comparison to, say, $50,000 a year. But the point is it was great at first, but everything wears off for the most part, or at least the novelty of earning that level of income wears off when you realize you're not free. And that was a problem for me. And many of you, hopefully, at least, I don't even know if I can say many of you, hopefully one person will feel me when I say this. Freedom is more important than your income. I will say that a million times. I might even get a tattoo that says, I don't even have one tattoo on my body, but that might be the first tattoo I ever get. And it'll say, no tattoos. The first tattoo I get might say, freedom is more valuable than money. Freedom is more valuable than income, because What good is $100 million if you're not available, or if you don't have the capacity to spend it with the people who you care about, right? What good is all of this income if you're begging your boss for some time off, right? Oh, and I also left in the comments, or not in the comment, actually in the pinned comment down below, I'll leave a link to my 100K playbook. And you can also join us in our school community where I coach people who hate their 9-to-5s how to start their own income, how to start their own business, online business, so that they can free themselves and be able to have the time to be able to spend with their family like we were put on this earth to be able to do. So anyway, what good is this income if you only have a limited amount of time per year to even, enjoy that income, right? Most jobs only give you 2 weeks, 3 weeks a year. There's 52 weeks in a year. Most of that time you're spending it with people who you don't even like. And the people you do love, you're barely able to spend any time with them. And if you're anything like me, that drove you up the wall, looking at Facebook memories and thinking back, oh man, I remember when my kid was this size.
I can't even yawn.
Come in the camera. All right, so let's run down there together, okay?
Yeah.
All right. And it really wasn't even until COVID that I realized how little time I was spending with my kid and with my family. And it was that lockdown period, being stuck at home, that it was like, oh man, forget the cool cars, forget all this other stuff. Family is where it's at. And being stuck in the corporate environment, locked inside, looking out the window on the beautiful days, it was a huge reminder of what I was missing. Seeing the Facebook memories, and when my kid was smaller and younger, it was a reminder of how much time was passing by that I was missing out on. So when I looked at my expenses and I realized, hey, $3,000 a month is $100 a day, and that would cover my living expenses. I started thinking about, well, what could I do to start generating $100 a day? So, and it was just an idea. It was just like, man, if I could just generate $100 a day through some online business, through some side hustle or whatever that I could run in my spare time, theoretically, that would free me from having to work. And it was that thought process, after having created a budget, that allowed me to really just start pondering and, thinking about just all sorts of different ways of making money without sacrificing my time to generate it. And I thought to myself, man, if I can make $100, who's to say I can't make $200 or $300? The key is, if you can do it once, you can do it over again, right? And so when I realized that, I realized how powerful that mindset shift was. And then I just started brainstorming and coming up with all sorts of different ways of, how I could possibly make money without having to go to work, or without having to go and do a traditional 9-to-5 job, because that was sucking up all my time. So I tested a lot of different things. I was trying, we tried creating courses. Me and a buddy, he and I were on the same wavelength. He was already self-employed, so he wasn't trying to break away from a job like I was. He was already, on his own. So that was helpful, just kind of to get the perspective from someone who was already self-employed. But anyway, he was looking to create some additional avenues, different revenues, different avenues of generating income. But anyway, we tried selling courses. We tried starting an SMMA business. That's a social media marketing company or agency. What else did we try? We were marketing to real estate agents, leveraging Facebook ads to get real estate agents more clients at a lower cost than what they could get for themselves. Basically, it was like a lead gen business. That didn't work out for us. But the funny thing is all of these different ideas could have worked if we stuck with them, honestly. And what else did we try? We tried several other things, and a couple of the businesses actually worked. You know, like one of the businesses is leveraging YouTube, which worked very well. So that business generated, you know, easily 7 figures. But the goal was all I was trying to do is all I wanted to do initially is I was like, if I could just make $10 a day. If I could just make $10 a day, that would be pretty awesome. Because at $10 a day, it wasn't $100 a day that I really needed to technically break free. But I was like, if I could at least generate $10 a day, that'd be pretty cool. Because $10 a day was $300 a month. And the way I was looking at it was, hell, $300 a month, that would at least cover our property taxes for the year. Because they were only like $3,600 a year at the time for the old house, for the other house. I was like, what else could we do with $300 a month? Okay, that takes care of like the water bill, the electricity. I was like, technically, we wouldn't have to pay for utilities because our utilities were, you know, a little over $300, but you know, it almost took care of the utilities. It would knock out electricity, gas, and water. Yeah. So what was funny though, was the goal was $10 a day. But the first time I actually got monetized on YouTube, my income for that day, because the way YouTube revenue is displayed, it shows you your revenue earned per day. And then of course, you know, the longer you're monetized, the longer you can look back on your previous income earnings. But the first day I got monetized, I'm gonna have to look at, I don't have it in front of me, but I'm gonna have to look. I swear the first day it was like $8 and change, something like that. And I was sitting at the dining room table and I was so amped to see that. My wife, she was in the kitchen. I was like, babe, because it updates usually around, depends, yeah, it's not consistent every day, but usually it updates around 7 o'clock. Sometimes it's usually anywhere between 5 p.m. and 10 p.m. at night. It'll update the revenue for the previous day. And the first day I got monetized, it was like showing like $8. I was like, oh my God. Like you would have swore I hit the lottery. I was so excited. Jumped out the chair at the dining room table, ran in the kitchen, told my wife, and she was cooking dinner and she was like, whoa, what's going on? What's going on? Telling her I had made $8 on YouTube. And she was like, oh my God. Like, because she knew how hard I was trying to make something happen for the longest. And I was just telling her like a month before, I just wanted to make an extra $10 a day on my own, not from a 9-to-5 job. And I almost hit the goal on day 1 of being monetized. Day 2, man, I almost passed the hell out. It was like $19 revenue for the day. So I was like, holy cow, this is unbelievable. And it literally just kept climbing from there. My point is when you realize what you're aiming for, when you realize what you're striving for, it's only a matter of identifying the steps that you need to take each and every single day in order to achieve the goal that you want to reach. And I think a lot of people set goals wrong. They set a goal and then they start like thinking about that goal every single day, and eventually they fall off and give up and never achieve the goal. And if that sounds like you know, let me know in the comments, because I would set goals year after year after year and never achieve them. But what I realized is that what we need to focus more on are what are the actions, what are the daily tiny little action items that we can take? What are the tiny little steps we can take every single day that inevitably lead us to the goal we're trying to achieve? That's more important than the goal itself, because once you identify the steps that you need to take to achieve the goal you want to reach, you can forget about the goal. Because if you just take the steps every single day, the goal or reaching that goal becomes inevitable. Anyway, so these are just some insights that I came across that really, really helped me out big time. So if you're lost, if you're struggling, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, or if you hate your 9-to-5 job like I did, you know, I hope that this video finds you and gives you a little bit of inspiration or motivation to let you know that you're not alone. And if I can do it, if I were able to figure it out, then I know you can too. So anyway, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Oh, and I also left in the comments, or not in the comment, actually in the pinned comment down below, I'll leave a link to my 100K playbook. And you can also join us in our school community where I coach people who hate their 9-to-5s how to start their own income, how to start their own business, online business, so that they can free themselves and be able to have the time to be able to spend with their family like we were put on this earth to be able to do. Anyway, links in the description down below. Like, subscribe, share this video. We'll see you next time.